Hi, welcome to this SQL tutorial video, and today I'm doing a video on outer joins. So quite recently I did a video on inner joins and an introduction to those, and also joining to multiple tables and self joins and that sort of thing. Now we're going to start looking at the outer join. If you're interested in inner joins, I'll put links to those in the description of this tutorial. So on screen, I have the results of these top two selects. One's returning the data from the employees table, and one's returning the data from the offices table. And I can link those two tables based on this office code and office column here. And if I were to do that, I'll get a subset of data. And there's all the employees and all of their offices where there is a match. So the thing with an inner join is when you've got an inner join and you use that inner join to link two tables, you will only get results returned where there is a valid join. So if I look at my employees table, there are actually 22 employees, but when I do a join to my offices table, I'm only getting 11. And the fact that 11's half of 22 has got nothing to do with it. It's just the way the test data is. But I'm only getting 11 because there are only 11 employees that have a valid office, which has an office code in the offices table. So if we look at this here, and we look at some of these don't have an office, some of these have an office, maybe this one here, LIO1. If I look at the offices table, there isn't an LIO1 office. So when it comes to doing joins based on this data, there isn't a valid join, so it's not going to return that data, which is why we're getting less results. So there's a couple of things we can do to get the results that we want, depending on how we want to see it. So first of all, let us look at a left outer join. Now what a left outer join will do is it will return all of the data from the leftmost table, and it will return any matches in the right-hand side of the query. So anything, it'll return all of my employees, and if there is a valid office, it'll return that data as well. So if I run this, we should get 22 rows. What you will notice is in some examples, you've got this office code and therefore the rest of the data. But in some examples, you've got the null in the office code column, and that is where there is no valid office found in the offices table. So this is kind of useful. You're at least now getting everybody here, and then you can decide what you want to do with this right-hand side if when it comes to it, but at least you are getting all of your employees now, and where there is a match, it's showing in the offices. So that's what a left outer join looks at. Everything from the left-hand table and anything that matches on the right-hand table. A right outer join does a similar thing, except it's kind of reverse. So it gets everything from the offices table, and where there is a match, it returns an employee. So if I just put right instead of left there, and we run this, we're getting less data now. So if you remember, there were 11 matches of employees and offices, and there are those 11. So the reason it's in the office multiple times is because there are multiple people in the same office. So when you're doing your join, it's saying, yeah, I've got a Manchester office and I've got 5 people in that office, 3 people in the Middlesbrough office, 3 in the London office. There's your 11 matches. I've also got a Preston office, a Newcastle office, and a Glasgow office. I don't have anybody in those offices yet, so I'm going to return the office data, and because I don't have any valid data from the employees table, I'll just return nulls. And that's what it does. If it doesn't find a match, it'll return nulls in the same way that we're showing for the left outer join. Now, what we can do, this logic kind of works, can be reversed. So I've got a right outer join looking at my offices table, but if I'd started with my offices table, if I just do select star from offices, and I want to join to my employees table, if I now do a left outer join to my employees table, oops, it will return the exact same data. So you can see here, I've got 14 rows, 11 employees, and 3 offices without employees. If I run this, it's the exact same data, 14 rows, 11 employees, 3 that don't have employees, 3 offices. It's the same, exactly the same set of data, just kind of reversed. I'm using the right outer join because I'm starting with the employees table. I want everything from offices. I'm using a left outer join because I'm starting with offices and I want to return employees. So I'm just kind of showing you the point that the left outer join or the right outer join will use the left table or the right table depending on how you've written your SQL. Now, what that kind of leads me to here, if I just run this, so this is getting all of the office data and it's getting all of the employees data. Now, what if I were to put a little extra condition in my left outer join here? So I want you to get everything from the employees table where the office code matches the office, but also I'm only interested in active employees. So I want to add there and e.active equals 1. What this will do is it will return less data because it's suddenly not going to return any of these zeros here. So we should see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 less rows if I run this. There you go. So we're now getting, there were only 2 active people who work in the Manchester office, only 2 in the Middlesbrough, and only 2 in the London. So we are reduced now because of this extra condition here. So, yep, I'm looking at the offices, all the offices, and anything in the employees table where the offices match and also the employees active. So we're getting reduced information here. We're still getting those 3 at the bottom. So it's going to return all of the offices, and then the extra bit here depends on how you are doing your left outer join. Funny things, left and right outer joins, they take a little bit of kind of getting your head round. Hopefully I've explained that all right. The last thing I want to look at is, I'm just going to comment this out. And this, so let's go back to our original select. Starting with the employees, I'm going to change that back to the left outer join. So this is showing us all of our employees and any matching offices. What we are missing is the Glasgow office, the other offices that don't have employees. What if you wanted to see those as well? Well, let's change this left outer join to be full outer join. What that will do is it will say, right, I'm going to return you everything from employees, everything from offices, regardless of the join. And if there is a match, happy days, I'll return a match. If there isn't, well, I'm going to return whatever data I can. So if I run this, what you see is you get your 22 employees here. You get any matching offices for those employees. Then you get any offices that don't have employees. So you're now getting the 22 plus the 3 offices without employees, which is returning your 25 rows. You must be so careful when you're using joins like this, particularly full outer joins. If your tables are huge and you do a full outer join, it's you could be returning a lot of rows and it could cause you problems. So just be very, very careful when you're doing particularly full outer joins. But hopefully this tutorial on outer joins has been helpful. Hopefully you've learned a little bit. If you've got any queries or comments, please leave them and I will get back to you. I'll reply when I can. As always, thanks a lot for your time. See you next time.